What's up, everybody? It is Jake Paine. Welcome to my show, Paine to Purpose. Today, I've got on a stud, Evan Macklin. He's on the Elliott team. He's in elite shape. He's got an awesome family. This is the type of guy that I personally want to be around, and you do too. So let's jump right on in.
Thanks for having me, Jake. Let's rock, baby.
Oh, baby.
Appreciate you, man. Excited to be here.
You know what was crazy was when we got on the bus.
Yeah.
And I never really met you guys. I haven't really been around you guys in person.
Yeah.
And then when you guys got on the bus, I was like, the Army has,
Elliott
Army has a,
Oh yeah, 100%, dude.
like, I felt that presence.
Yeah. I mean, we want to be unforgettable everywhere we go. It doesn't matter if it's just in a small conversation with somebody and being able to just show them some good love, some energy, maybe just be a good listener, but then pump them up. Or if it's us rolling as a big army and a team and just taking over a freaking bus like a big ass lacrosse team and shaking that bitch. Like, we're going to come in and bring the heat no matter what. And I love all of our coaches because we all speak with the same level of core values in our language. So no matter who you meet on our team, they're going to bring it.
And that did not happen overnight.
No.
Like, you guys built this over time.
Oh yeah.
So was it always like that? You guys did it over time? It just snowballed?
Yeah, it was always like that. So like, to go back, I started with Andy Elliott 4 years ago when it was just him and his wife at a kitchen table and an idea, and they bought a little conference room and they were doing little seminars, 100 people, 70 people, 80 people, 100 people. They'd have people in their living room doing seminars. They'd have people working out in their driveway. And I was just really attracted to hearing a sales trainer talk about being a good husband, being a good father, being good with your fitness. I had never heard anybody talk about that. Every trainer I've ever heard as far as sales went just talked about the word track and stuff. And I knew as a really high level salesperson, when I knew with my own problems, most of the things that weren't holding me back didn't have a lot to do with sales. It had a lot to do with who I was. Yeah. But I also know that with word tracks and sales, it's not how you say something. It's not the words that you say, it's how you say them. Yeah. And if you believe in yourself and you love yourself and you're really in congruency with who you really truly see yourself becoming, you can be an unstoppable salesperson. I was really good. But when I met Andy Elliott, I saw a different level of unstoppable that I've never seen. So him and his wife had started, I don't know if they always carried that energy. I know that they had went through their own total recreation. And when we got together, it's like everybody early on was like, if I could bottle your guys' energy up and sell it, it'd be worth $1 trillion. So we, without knowing, just started really focusing on pumping good energy into people and good motivation into people. And so that just it honestly became part of our brand, personal excellence, high level energy, high level mindset, living the standard. And now we've got a huge team that just lives by the core values that are what we believe in.
So that's something that always comes up around you guys. Standard mean.
Everybody knows what their standard is. A lot of the times they just lie to themselves on what it should be.
Yeah.
Like, just draw a hard line in the sand. What do you want to look like? Yeah. What do you want to talk like? What kind of discipline do you want to have in finances, in your fitness, in your relationships, and all your stuff? And stop negotiating with yourself. Let's just give an example. A lot of people, it's hard for them to make little baby ass decisions. Let's eat chicken. Let's eat a freaking greasy ass hamburger, or let's eat grilled chicken. Okay. Which one would you choose, Jake?
I'm going chicken.
You're going chicken, right? Because you want to hold this in. Yeah, it sounds good. Okay. Yeah. Every now and again is fine. But a lot of people, they have the lower standard. They want to look good. They want to feel good. They want to wake up and feel good, but they run right to the soda pop over the water. They make all these little decisions over the day that stack up, and then you look up and you're lost and you're wondering why you're depressed or you're not feeling good or you're not on fire. It's because you haven't been living the standard, ultimately true, that you know you should live at. Now listen, my standards are really high, and when I'm living at them, I'm on fire. I feel good. I got the most important word in my life, which is called progress. I'm in progress. I'm freaking going towards that person. I'm hunting. I'm closing deals. I'm working out. I'm taking good care of my family. We're going on date nights with my girl. We're moving. If I'm outside of these little standards that I've set and I go conform to the world's lies and standards, I feel it in my heart. I feel it gives you anxiety just thinking about it right now, because you know when you're being a piece of. So that's what the standard is. Figure out when you know in your heart, and it's just the truth. So if I say this and it offends you, you know when you're being a piece of. So why don't you just write down the standards? Why don't you write down the perfect day? When you're most on fire, when your customers are most on fire, when your team's most on fire, when you feel the most alive, when everything is going right in your life, that's your standard. And then live in it. And it should have a lot to do with fitness. It should have a lot to do with love. It should have a lot to do with passion, caring, intensity, God. It should have a lot to do with these things. Movement, sunlight, that makes people happy. Okay. Now, there's some people that have a serotonin imbalance and it's inherited and they're depressed, but 99% of people, they're not. They're just not doing the work. When I go to bed and I'm freaking fired up and I just had a good day and I did everything I could. When I put my head on the pillow and I lay down or I go lay down to watch my favorite show on Netflix, I've earned it. I go to bed feeling good, not like a piece of like I used to. So that's that. And I didn't live that way. I used to live the other way where I would negotiate and I would say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, 30 more minutes on the snooze button. So I'm just opting into losing every day, opt into losing. I'd get up, mosey around, get on Netflix, get on my email, get on my freaking social media, start scrolling, feel about my life because other people are living a better life because I'm just watching their highlight reels and most are fake. And bro, just knock it off. Just knock it off. Go to war on your own mediocrity, on your own bad habits, and you know what they are. So you know what the standard is, but do you do it?
I feel like a lot of people, they've tried.
Yeah.
Right? I've tried this or I've tried
You didn't
that.
try. You tried something for 60 or 90 days and it didn't work. Or the worst part is, America, we got a real sickness with this. You tried and you got results for 90 days and you felt most alive with your diet, with everything. And then you stop. Yeah. You start and you stop. You start and you stop. You start making the 100 calls that you told your manager. You start with the gratitude. You love your freaking business. You're fired up. You tell your manager, I'm going to do everything I can to push the needle. I'm coachable. And then 90 days in, you get entitled, you get ungrateful, or you stop the diet and you go back to the starting line and you keep running this habitual cycle of every 90 days. It's like you have a cycle. Figure out your cycle. And right when you start to go back to the old you got to have self-awareness, or even better, have a badass coach. Everybody needs a good coach in your life that can say, Jake, you're foolish right now. I can see it in your eyes. Bro, you're not sticking to your standard. I can see it on you. Bro, the eyes of the window of the soul. I can see it in your eyes right now, Jake. Do you really want it? And I'm looking in your eyes right now and you look like you're on fire. You look like you're ready to eat the camera off. Why is that? Because you're doing what you say you're going to do. Okay. When you weren't doing that and you were addicted to all this, you were miserable and depressed and you hated yourself. It's the truth.
Dude, I didn't know that was true.
Yeah.
I did not know, like, honestly, maybe I did, maybe I'm even lying saying that, but like for me, it's like, I didn't fully realize and have that revelation of, me saying I'll be here at 5 and then don't show up.
Yep.
That makes you weaker.
Yes.
That makes you actually weaker. It's not, oh, you're just not going to show up.
Think about it.
It makes you weaker.
Think about this. All of those little decisions, like you've been honest about your whole past on this podcast, right?
Yeah.
The porn to the purpose, the relationship struggles that you've had.
Yeah.
Think about all the little decisions, and we could put it off on anybody else, the relationship struggles or anything like that. I personally believe if you take extreme ownership, like Jocko says, of everything in your life, there's probably a lot of decisions that led to you not being the man that you wanted. And then one day you woke up in a deep, dark hole and you finally had enough and you finally hit rock bottom. You finally hit something that was solid and you said, oh, and then you woke up. So you did hate yourself, but along the journey, you just thought, oh, it's just normal. But the problem is the compound effect. Mm-hmm. When you start stacking up this, you don't realize you're lost. And then a couple of weeks go by or a couple of months and you realize your heart's calloused, or you realize you have a darkness inside of you that you've been letting have life that's living inside of you. And it might be 5% of your heart. Some of you guys that lead a team, it might be the fact that you just don't believe that your bottom of the 80% of your board can live up to your top 20%. You're a shitty leader. You're a leader. You forgot what it feels like to be the leader that you once needed in your business. And now you're not believing in people. I thought you were a coach. I thought you were a leader. No, you're letting this darkness inside of you creep in because a couple people let you down and you let yourself down and you're no longer giving it all you got. So you got to give it all you got with your team, everybody around you, because when you do, the compound effect of that is what in the Elliott group.
Yes. Bro, I feel like this is something that you actually have a lot of authority in.
Yeah.
Is not only that, but I think part of the problem is when you talk about somebody not going all in, it's not about other people's results, right? A lot of times in the entrepreneurial space or sales, we're like, oh, or this or that. But it's like, bro, what if it's the big thing for you is just one thing?
Yes.
And it's actually always that.
Yes.
Because no matter if you're making, let's say $1 million, it's not 100 million, it's the next million. It's not, if it's 100 grand, it's not, okay, I'm going to go to $1 million a month next month. No, let's double it, or let's go a little bit more. Let's go, now go 1,000%. Right? Yeah. And that has to do with you being honest with you and not comparing yourself with everybody else.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's something that you, like being a twin, you probably get compared to a lot. Yes. Is that true?
Oh yeah. Being a twin is a whole different animal. We just always been, it's such a blessing though. Like We've always been compared to each other. We've always been competitive.
Yeah.
Having a twin brother is the coolest thing in the world because I've always got somebody to rely on. Now, there's the other side of it. We always get in trouble together. If one of us has a bad idea, we've always been really good at running with our bad ideas and just living in that gray area, which in a sense, the top producers in the world always live in they're rule breakers and they binge. But being a twin is it's crazy, man. It's so much fun.
But is that something that you've had to
Dude, listen, my first probably 22 years of my life, my mom even used to get so pissed off. She used to say, hey, I'd get in trouble and my brother didn't get in trouble. And he was on a spell of being good, but I'd get in trouble and all my teachers would be mad at my brother too.
Yeah.
And my mom would always say, they're not the same person. That's Evan. This is Ian. Evan did this. Ian did this. And she was actually more pissed off about people making us feel like we were the same person than we were. But it did create like an identity crisis. Like we didn't like to dress the same. We liked to dress opposite. We didn't like to be called the twins. And then when we got in the car business, it was like so brandable and people would just come in. Hey, I'm looking for the Empire twins when we worked at Empire. Hey, I'm looking for the Tynan twins when we worked at Tynan's. Yeah. And we always acted like we owned the business. We carried like this level of self-ownership of every business that we've been in. So like the owners love it because we're always like the needle pushers in every area of the business. Doesn't matter if we're getting paid for it or not. We're always there to like push, train, drive the team with motivation, leadership, that's just who we are.
Yeah.
But so that became very brandable. And so, now you can find us on Instagram, Macklin Twins or YouTube, Macklin Twins.
Yeah.
And we started dressing the same. Okay. We started really owning it.
Naturally, like you guys just came to.
We were like, dude, let's just own this. We came up with, in car business, we came up with logos that looked like animated logos and it was just, they looked exactly like us and you couldn't tell them apart.
Sure.
And so we just started owning who we were. And for us, for a long time, it felt like it was like, because everybody, when they meet twins, like they want to be a twin. They're like, how cool would that be to be a twin? Yeah. And a lot of the times, if you notice, most twins don't have a good relationship with each other. I've got 3 sets of twin cousins and a lot of them like aren't best friends. They're not super close. I feel like because they have an identity crisis, bro, because one's always fighting for the top spot. My brother and I have learned to share the spotlight with each other. And my brother is a little bit more aggressive and I'm typically a little bit more analytical. I'm a little bit more logical in some senses. Sure. I had a daughter early on. So like I had to be a lot more patient. My brother would just he would you up. Seriously, him and Andy, bro, they'll run into any fire, no thought, let's go, let's kill.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, hey, why don't we, take a quick second? Let's think about this option.
Yeah.
But we're both crazy. Don't get me wrong. But my brother is, I'd say, just a hair crazier.
Yo, for sure. And that, what I was saying is like, I think I'll see a lot of twins like in high school or something. Like they are close.
Yeah.
But long term, they're not.
Yeah.
And to see you guys build together.
Yeah.
One thing that Andy was talking about yesterday is, I don't think he even finished it, but he was like, 2 things that destroy a man. And I think you only got one. And he was like, you need a brotherhood.
You do.
And you guys, I think, have really embodied that. And because you guys have probably had challenges.
Yeah.
But to see you guys still fighting, who doesn't want that bond? I'm like, okay, I'll never have a true twin, but like, I want to be brothers.
Yes.
Like that. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, it's so cool. And that's why we're so proud of the Elliott Group, because we have created this brotherhood, this sisterhood within our community.
Yeah.
Where you're around such like-minded, crazy individuals that are like, they believe the same as you. If you believe in fitness, if you believe in faith, if you believe in really having an elite level family, if you believe in a high level human experience, like you want nice stuff, you want to make good money. There's no reason we should be shy about it. If you want a big life and you understand that it's going to take getting all of it correct, so you don't wake up with just the art of achievement and not the art of fulfillment, like where you're not fulfilled, but you're just achieved.
Yeah.
We've seen multi-millionaires, billionaires walking the lines and very truly unhappy, like literally on suicide watch because they've never figured out the art of fulfillment. I live in a zone where I'm grateful and I'm fulfilled every day because I'm helping other people and I'm more concerned with other people's results and contribution than my own results. And when you get in a community like that, where it's not just me, but I'm one of the top level leaders and it goes down to the team and then it goes down to the community and even our community, ask Joan and our cameraman, dude, our freaking community on school, dude, they police each other. They're like, dude, they take such ownership of our stuff. Like, it's crazy. They have their own get-togethers when they come out to events, their own barbecues. Bro, what we have built is a movement. It's a pure movement. It's not just the name Elliott, okay?
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. This isn't just a man's name. It is a movement for personal excellence around the entire country. And if you would see some of the testimonials we get with some of these men and women with their breakthroughs and the lives that they're changing, maybe on just like the marriage level or the monetary level. Or we had one in our group chat the other day where somebody came to one of our seminars and we talked to him and he ended up he found Jesus and gave his life, went back to his hometown and got baptized, and he sent us this amazing testimonial. And now he's changing his community and team, and he's in the freaking church and he's just fired up. I'm like, dude, the compound effect of that over the next 10 years is what we're after.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like a wildfire burning of success, of people wanting to be better.
Dude, it gives me the chills to think about it because, okay, like in sales, we can be very numbers and money driven.
Oh yeah, right? Bro.
But if like the Elliott group, you're not.
Yeah.
Let's get after it. But it's like full self-mastery.
Yeah.
And I feel like even the way you were talking of saying, bro, to see their lives change, to see how they grow and develop. I feel like for you and for everybody, probably Andy too, and the whole group, I don't want to speak for you guys, but I feel like that's more rewarding than the money.
Dude, listen. I will give the same energy on a $97 Elite Mastermind membership, our lowest product. I will give the same energy, and my team knows, ask any of them. If I talk to somebody who can only invest $97, I will give the same level of freaking passion and energy to drive that person to make a decision to change and get in our community, because I know how impactful those Zoom calls will be. I've seen it literally transform lives. So I will give that same energy to somebody versus somebody who's investing a couple of $1 million, or their company's coming on and it's a huge contract. I don't care.
Yeah.
I will literally I will pump so much belief into you because I have so much belief and conviction, which conviction, if you're out there and you're a salesperson, your belief in your product. Number one, your belief in your company. Number two, your belief in you. Number three, and then your belief that you will ultimately serve the client better than any of your competitors are going to be how you create a level of belief that's unstoppable. And if you can create that level of belief and you're totally bought in on those areas, you'll have conviction. And if you're struggling to get that belief, call your last 5 clients back and ask them why they bought from you. And when they tell you, I bought from you because I loved your passion. I loved your intensity. I loved the way that you cared. I loved how you followed up with me. I loved that you talked about my family. Write those things down and start to buy into yourself.
Yeah.
And then that will put some seeds of conviction in your head, and then you can talk with conviction. Figure out your best testimonials. What are those people going through? How'd you change their life with your product or your service? And then that will create a new level of conviction with you. Get closer to the people in your community. Get closer with your receptionist, your sales manager, the people around you. Because if you build those relationships and they're deeper than surface level, like we have at the Elliott Group, where we go to church together, we play kickball together, we do all this. Culture is built outside of the office, not inside of the office. When you can build that, and you can start it by yourself. You can literally start it by just getting close to one person in the company that might need your help. There's somebody, and they may not say it, but you can look at their eyes and see it. If you can help one person and you can start to do this, you're going to be more happy to be at work and you're going to be more convicted. And that's how you start to have this unstoppable level of conviction. Plus, then you got to hang around the right people that are going to tell you're good, man, and tell you you're worth it and you're going to kick ass.
Dude, and I feel like you operate and see you do these things. Like you operate at a high state, right? Like a high energy level.
Yeah.
Right? And it's almost, I don't want to say you turn it on, but you just are.
Yeah.
But like that's exactly, you feel like what you just explained.
Yeah.
That was built? Is that something that being around Andy, like you probably had it before?
I think I've always been a pretty high intense person. I come from an athletic background. I was always super competitive in sports. I always did believe in myself. There was always a lot of different little self-doubts. We all have them.
Sure.
But I would say being around in proximity of Andy, our brotherhood, our clients has provided a different level of spark and energy inside of me. And that's why we always say in the Elliott Group, you need a brotherhood, you need a sisterhood to run with. So if you don't have one, run with us and look me up on Instagram, send me a message, because that will provide a new level of energy. And I don't care who you are, you gotta be around some new people with new information and some new knowledge. And if you get those things and you feel inspired by that person and they got some new knowledge for you, dude, you're gonna think about the last close or objection that you learned to handle pretty good. And then you went and use that in a closing scenario, or maybe a certain way you generated a lead on social media that somebody taught you. Bro, it made you so on fire. And you gotta live in that.
Yeah.
You gotta live in that.
Bro, I just think that for people, they forgot what we were talking about of, okay, get in shape, do all these things. It's like they've been in such a low state. Even if you be high achieving, you've gotten comfortable.
Yes. Oh yeah.
So that's what's so powerful about our community. Like we're here, we're in Mexico, and I'm just like, I'm playing.
Yes.
Like I'm doing better than a lot of people, right?
Yes.
And a lot of us are, right? And no matter what your situation is, you can always be grateful for something, but are you being real?
Yeah.
Can you challenge yourself and have other people that are going to tell you that?
Yeah.
And so that's something that I love about you guys' brotherhood. I love what you guys are doing.
That's what me and you've been doing all weekend. We just been running by each other, yelling at each other, pushing each other, freaking chest bumping each other, freaking, it's just, dude, like that's what I live for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that football style camaraderie. Yeah. I love that team aspect of feeling like you're a part of something bigger than you. Yeah. It's like, that's why I work at the Elliott Group. And for all you leaders out there, I'm an entrepreneur in a very large business and I'm a 7-figure earner in a really cool business.
Oh yeah.
And people always ask us like, hey, why do you work at the Elliott Group? Or matter of fact, why do you stay at the Elliott Group? How does Andy have a team that stays with him for so long? The simple answer is Andy has such a big vision that our vision can fit inside of that vision. Yeah. And Andy's such a powerful person to be around that you feel so good and so powerful, and he keeps his word. Yeah. And everything he says, he's got the ultimate form of accountability. He always tells people, if he lies to you, if he changes the pay plan, if he switches things up, if he doesn't keep his word, or if he starts to get slack on his fitness, or if he shows up and he's not grateful, just get out of the business, bro. Something's changed.
Yeah.
But I've been with that guy for 4 years and I've watched him every day show up and put other people before his own goals. And that's ultimately why he's able to create the level of success he's been able to create.
So with that big vision that he has, can you touch on that? Do you know what that is?
Yeah. I think Andy wants to create more than just Andy's. He wants to have, it's like Tony Robbins. Andy's been so inspired by guys like Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Patrick Bet-David, Andy Frisella, all these big guys. Andy wants to create 1,000 of those, 50,000 of those. Right. And so in our brotherhood group, he's already helping create people we have a multitude of people who are learning communication and leadership and sales skill and entrepreneurship and mindset where they're becoming these people. The level of transformation that we've been able to have and these influencers that are coming up that are learning from Andy right now, you're going to see in 4 or 5 years from now, a lot of people on a lot of stages talking about how the Elliott Group changed their life. I'm telling you right now, we saw Eric Klein this weekend get on stage. And what did he say? We saw Omni. We saw a lot of people get on stage and say, bro, like you've never seen anything like the Elliott Group. Like I challenge you, come down to our office. And I hadn't seen anything like it until I went to First Form and I saw a team and a system and process and a company that was super crazy dialed in. Yeah. And that inspired us. Andy Frisella inspired us to build our culture.
Yeah.
Right. And I believe in the personal development space, there's nobody that has a team or a culture like we do. Right.
Yeah.
And even in a lot of businesses, like I coach a lot and people look to us as the example for what culture should look like. So it's such a tremendous, like, cool thing to have to live up to. Yeah. And it's also the ultimate accountability. Like we can't let it slack. If there's cancer on our team, we got to get rid of it.
That's right.
If there's something that's not working out, we got to pivot and figure it out. We got to self-assess. We got to look in the mirror and say, hey, are we still self-developing? Are we still getting better? Mm-hmm. Are our clients getting better than us? We can't let them out self-develop us. We got to grow. Yeah. We got to learn.
Yeah.
We got to be investing in ourselves just as much as we're asking other people to. Every month I'm investing tens of thousands of dollars into my own skill, my mindset. I'm so hungry.
Yeah.
Like I'm like a dog, dude. Yeah. I'm like ready to eat at all times and I'm never full.
I love that. I think that for seeing you guys in that such tenacity, and like seeing those videos, it can be intimidating for some.
Sure,
right? It's oh my god,
sure.
Like I'm not in crazy shape. Like I'm in okay shape, but I see you guys going after. I'm like, bro, these dogs.
Yeah,
like where did you get these?
But on the other end of that, when you get around my team, how'd they make you feel?
Like a dog.
Did they make you feel like they were too cool for you?
No.
Okay, that's the difference. If you really see us online and then you come see us in person, we will fill you with so much love. I had a girl that was at our last event that did the workout with us. She was 340 pounds. She's already lost 20 pounds. Okay. This is just a couple weeks in. I'm working out next to her. We did not let her fail. I put 2 coaches on her. I'm like, listen, you do not let this girl quit. And I kept reminding her, this is day 1. All that weak ass you've been telling yourself, you're going to get rid of it. She threw up a couple times, but I saw some heart inside of her. And we're in a group chat right now. She's freaking winning. I got one of my girls on my team that's lost over 100 pounds that's taking good care of her. And I'm telling you, she cried in my arms, bro. Not just cried. She freaking let down snot on I was just like, yes. Because I felt, in that very moment, I got this girl and she's just letting out all of the sorrow, the pain, and she's just imagining her future. And for once, she felt welcomed to finally become the person that she wants to be. And she finally felt like she had an army in her corner to guide her, to show her the steps.
Yes.
I never was around people that showed me how to have the steps to become a millionaire, to not lose it, but to also be happy along the journey. That's what we teach people.
Yeah.
Dude, that to me is crazy. There's a lot of people that get on stages and they get off the stage and they want nothing to do with other people. I'm never going to forget what it feels like to be my 18-year-old cameraman who's fired up on freaking life, who's trying to figure it out. He's making a couple $1,000s. He's living in an apartment, just a few pieces of furniture. He's stirred up every night trying to figure out his breakthroughs. He's hungry.
Yeah.
He sees a big vision. I understand that.
Yeah.
I lived in that.
Yeah.
If you as a leader, you have to go back to that. You as a salesperson, you have to have empathy for what the other person's going through. Put yourself in their shoes. Radical empathy. When you're in their shoes, you can sell them because you're in their head. You remember what it feels like. You know that when they come to a dealership, they're nervous. You look like a bunch of scavengers out there. They think you're robbers, cheats, liars, thieves. What are they going to say about you? That's all that matters. So when you're standing out there on point as a car salesman, when you walk up to somebody, do you have your together? Do you look like you care? And then put yourself in their shoes. They're scared of you. They're nervous. Their guards up. Their walls up. How do you break that down? First, you have to become the person. You have to look like you truly care. And then you have to be able to transfer this enthusiasm and love for your company, for your product, for yourself onto them and make them feel like this is the right place to do business. We've all walked into a house that feels dark, no energy. You're like, ugh, I don't even want to be here. But then you've all walked into the house where you're like, man, it feels cozy. I love this place. That's what we do at our business, but that's what we train other people to do, right? I don't care what you're in. I don't care what sales you're in. If you can't transfer what I just explained, you can't win at a super high level. I'm talking unstoppable levels. People have to want to be around you. Now, if you're an introvert and you're like, but I don't know how to do that. I'm extroverted. Bro, you just haven't tried enough. You haven't put yourself under enough pressure. You haven't gone and walked up to enough people. You're funny with your friends. You're funny with your family because you're comfortable around them, because you've told the jokes a million times. You've been around them a million times. You have to start to put yourself under pressure in the areas that you're scared of. And if you can do that, you will become a new person. And you're not introverted. You're not shy. You're not scared. You're excited. Chase the butterflies in your stomach. Chase them. Okay? Those butterflies are excitement. Start to reword that comes out of your mouth. I'm not nervous, man. I'm excited. Can't wait to meet this person. I'm excited to go talk to these 10 people. I'm excited to get on a stage with 100 people and tell them what I do.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Like people have to learn to control their tongue, their mouth.
Yeah.
And that leads into a whole nother thing of hating on people online and doing all it does is plant negative seeds in your mind. Stay out of the weeds. Stay in the good. If you can live in that and become monk-like with your freaking energy, bro, you're good.
Oh my God. I have so many thoughts and so many things to say on that. Like,
sorry, I'm just going hard because I just can't stand. I don't even want to sit down. I want to do this. I know. I want standing up. I want to look at this camera and I want people to believe in themselves, bro. Like, I just want people to truly understand that there's a person inside of you that's dying to come out and play the full game, the full level of life. And if you can live in a zone where you see it, you have a vision, God's giving you these freaking highlight reels every day of what your life could be like. They're real. They're real. That means you're a visionary. You have the vision. You're seeing something that isn't there. The true level of a badass entrepreneur, just a badass person. They can see the invisible, they can see the impossible, and they can make it come true. It's going to take work. It's going to take work. It's going to take confronting the work, doing it. But then it's going to take being strategic, partnerships, getting around more people, shaking more hands, finding the skill sets and the mindsets and the habits that you're missing, and then attacking them viciously. And when you do that for years, I'm 15 years into the sales game. I will people up in sales. I'm not nervous in sales at all. I'm not nervous to say, hey, here's what I got. But I've been doing it. The repetition that I have is unreal. So it'd be hard for you to catch me if you're new. But you can catch people if you just start working today.
Yeah.
And reading and learning and self-developing.
Yeah.
And stop around with your potential. Like, why? Why are you playing with it? Why are you playing with it like you have another life?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Let's talk about that for a second. So I think that like when we talk about closing the gap, I think that, for me, when I was starting to work on stuff, I was bad for a long time. Just had a lot of stuff because I'd never done it before. And it was like, I had to go dark, and I would tell myself, like, I don't care. And I would walk around the neighborhood.
Yes.
And I would say to myself, I don't care if it takes 10 years. I don't care if it takes 10 years. And it was like, just going dark and saying, bro, I don't care. I'll suck for a long time. I'll be here because I'm going to get better. I'm going to make it. And I don't care how long it takes. And that helped me when you talk about your tongue.
Yeah.
The tongue like just can destroy you, but can also build you up big time. And so I saw that in my life. Is that something that you feel like you see in your life?
Bro, Jake, you started telling yourself a different story. You started self-coaching yourself, and you were okay with being alone. For the first time in your life, I think you were really, truly okay with going down this journey alone. And what'll happen is when you go down that journey, I think everybody needs to go down a little bit of a dark journey and find themselves. Yeah. And once you do that, you'll start to attract your tribe. Like you got it, because then you change your frequency, you change your energy, you have a different level of self-esteem, you believe in yourself in a different way because you've been fighting for yourself. And by the way, like there doesn't matter if you have a team, because like my team's not coming to make my calls for me. They're not coming out here to do the podcast for me. Yeah. Like I've got to find to do myself. My brother's not coming to save me. We have individual revenue goals. We have individual business. Like we run individuals, but you went down this rabbit hole of your own self-development and your own journey of self-mastery. Yeah. And when you started to master yourself and master your mouth and master your mindset, that's why you're a freak. That's why every time when you walk around, people are like, who is that guy? What does he do? What's going on over there? Yeah. And if people aren't saying that about you, it's just because you haven't done enough working on your frequency and your self-mastery. Yeah. Because I can walk in a room, I can sit at a table, and I can be the most interesting person at that table. Yeah. Because I with me heavy, bro. Heavy. And I know me, and I'm not scared to be me. I'm not scared to rip. I'm not scared to take it back and listen. I'm not scared to just be there for somebody. I've been through a lot, bro. Yeah. And I understand that everybody is up. Everybody's broken. And everybody needs a little bit of help. Everybody needs a little love, a little bit of kindness. That's what made you be such a good coach. Yeah. And so like when you talk about coaching and some of that stuff, because I know I want to touch on a couple things and we'll wrap here. But first off, before we go down that rabbit hole, I just want to mention this. We were talking about this before the cameras came on, of Andy and his wife. Yeah. And they get a lot of hate online. Mm-hmm. You were talking about, did the brotherhood make you feel this way? I'm like, like when I met Andy in person, I saw his eyes. Oh, bro, they're crazy. I'm like, he was intense, but he wasn't yelling at me. Yeah. He was quiet. How you doing? Yeah. Just even keel, in control. Yes. I'm like, this guy can kill me if he wanted to. Dude. But he's here to help me. He's got that capability. He's a controlled monster. I could sense that. I'm like, bro, this is what every man should aspire to. Exactly. And then his wife, we were talking backstage, and it was like, she gets a lot of hate online. Yeah. She's in shape. And people are afraid of a powerful woman. Oh, yeah. And then she was so feminine. She was so strong. She could probably kill me too. Yeah. But I'm like, or she could kill us all, bro. Yeah. She's the CEO of our company, and she runs our whole team and everything. You don't with her. But I'm like, who doesn't want, she was with her kids. And I was like, who, if you're like, have any type of self-control, and if you're honest with yourself, like that's what you aspire to have, is to be a man and control yourself. Yes. And to have a partner that could kill you, but is fighting for you. Yes, bro. Using that strength for you. And it's okay, how can we be a part of a brotherhood? Yeah. Of a coach? Yes. In a community? Yes. It's not just one thing, right? It's like in sales, not one thing kills the deal, right? It's like you get all that going together. Yeah. And you get some momentum plus time, right? Plus time. You gotta have it going. And then it's like, boom, I'm a different person. Like even right before this trip, I was still like in my head, I'm like, why am I still here? And I'm like, wait, I'm not. Now. Yeah. Like you just wake up one day. It's like in the Bible, it says, it's like the kingdom of God. It's like he throws seed out the window, wakes up in the morning and is, whoa, like, how did that happen? Yeah. Growth happens, like we think growth happens overnight, but it doesn't. No. Cause yes, it did happen overnight there, but it's like the truth. And the truth changes people quickly. Yeah. Like you helping out that 340-pound woman. Yeah. Oh yeah. You touched her soul. I love that, bro. She'll never be this. Think about that. I know. If she fails, she'll think about that moment. Like, man, like I pushed through. This guy who's a dog believed in me. Yeah. And I believe that only a man can make another man. Yeah. And that's why we need other strong men. Dude, the most dangerous men in the world are the ones that are out of control. They're not in control of their emotions. They're not in control of their fitness. Those are the ones that make the decisions to shoot places up Those are the ones that make the decisions to go do the craziest. It's never the guy that's in shape, that's owning a business, that's running in a high level sales team, that's going out and attacking, that's on the hunt. Yeah. Because they're so consumed with giving good stuff back to their world, to their team, to their family. It's always the guy that's like isolated, that's by himself, that's on the computer all day, that's doing all that like we're not made to do. We're not made to sit in a room and talk online and be in chat rooms talking about what's all wrong with the world. We're made to be in rooms with people that are talking about growing. We're made to be on the hunt. We're hunters. We're made to be pursuing dreams and goals and attacking stuff and running into stuff and creating movement and momentum and energy, and money follows movement and energy. And then when you get that, it starts to provide like a level of inspiration that you're doing the right things. But when you stop all that and you start to get consumed with the hate, the news, the comments that people are putting on other people's profiles and they've never met that person, or maybe that person did burn some people in the past, or they did get charged with a crime, or they did do stuff. Bro, I've broken so many laws. I've done so much bad. There's so much if they would have caught me for, and it would be online, there'd be so many people saying, I would never learn from that guy. He's a piece of shit. But do you understand? I know how to talk to people that are broken, that have burned people, that are felons getting out of prison, that we've turned into people that were counted out, that are now counted on, that have changed hundreds of thousands of lives. People want the comeback story. So those of you out there that feel like you're not worthy or not capable of it because you burned somebody, or you've been burned, or you're like, I'm not getting in a relationship because somebody cheated on me. Bro, you're just blocking your blessings for the future. Like, you're going to have to get back in the fight. Get off the news, get off that, go pursue the goals. And if you do that, you're going to be happy.
Dude, not only that, I think it really comes from the Bible. So like
it does. Everything comes from the Bible.
It does.
It's the greatest self-development book ever written. But most people never read scripture. Everything you need is in scripture.
Everything.
And it's like, God, man, when you start to really tune in, man, there's no reason we should be here right now. There's reasons you should have died. There's multiple reasons I should have died. But we're here in Cabo at like around good people, like pursuing the best version, the 3.0, 5.0 version of ourselves. Bro, you're telling me that there's no higher power that put us together here right now? And there's probably one person on the other end of this camera that just had a breakthrough that's going to go change somebody, that'll go change somebody, that'll go change somebody. Bro, please tell me there's nothing, like something's impossible. Please tell me right now why you don't have the mind, the money, the body, the things you want when everything is available to you now online, but you take it for granted because you're in the information age. Because you're getting so much. Okay, so here's how you do it. Turn everything off for a minute. Find a coach, find somebody who's just been where you want to go. This is the hack. That's been where you want to go, that has a life that you see yourself having, somebody that'll still reach back and help you out. This doesn't have to be a billionaire. This doesn't have to be a mega millionaire. This could be somebody who's maybe earning $200,000 in sales and you're a $50,000 earner and you just learn from them. Maybe they're in your business right now. They're knocking on doors. They're doing solar and they're selling 8 installs a month and you're only doing 2. I would learn from that guy. I would learn everything he knows till I'm better than that person. And then I would go find another, but I wouldn't be moving on to multiple mentors. Immerse yourself with one person. I'm immersed myself with Andy Elliott. When I did that, my whole life changed. And and Andy always told me, he always says, dude, listen, you got to get so good at what I do that when people talk to you, you are the content. You are a version of what we do, what we sell. You have to get so good at it that you could teach it on a stage to millions of people and they understand it. And you could talk to them like they're 2 with respect, but you can unpack all the levels to them. And until then, don't be going around the internet searching for a million things. No. And it doesn't mean he doesn't have, look, we have multiple people that we watch and that we learn with and we grow with and pod. But I'm saying just plug into something that's good for you and don't stop until you're a master of it.
Dude, the Bible says the student is not above his master, but when the student is fully trained, will be just like,
yes.
Isn't that so true?
Yes.
It's like when you,
and this, the student is or the teacher will appear when the student is ready. Okay. Imagine this. A lot of the times in your life, you've got the right information, but maybe it was the wrong time because your mindset wasn't locked in. Okay. So everything,
place for everything.
Yeah. But listen to everything that's going on. Right. In church, you might go to a church service that might be about leadership or marriage, but you may not be a leader. You may not be married yet. But maybe that comes up in 6 months, a year from now.
And that's where I was going, where I was like, it's in the Bible, because there was this story where Jesus was like, don't worry about what you eat. Don't worry about what you wear. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about all these things that you care about.
Yeah.
He says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all these things will happen. What is that?
Yeah.
His way of doing things, which is essentially what you guys teach, right?
Yeah.
Is like be in control of you. Clean up your tongue. And like when I was helping men quit porn, like I wrote a book and I have a community about that and was coaching guys about it. And I'm like, they're all broke. They're all abused relationships, all you like sexually confused, all kinds of crap. And I'm like, bro, go wake up, drink water, go to the gym, quit drinking, work out, take care of yourself. And guess what? All this will clean up. It's not me.
Yeah.
It's not Andy. It's the Bible, bro.
Yeah.
It says then God will add these things. You'll just wake up and be like, oh wait, my life does. Oh wait, I'm making more money than I thought, or I'm in decent shape, or I like me.
Yes.
Then God doesn't take things away. He just adds.
Yeah.
But
he's not going to add more unless you can shepherd the stuff in your current life. So if you're addicted to these vices right now and you can't work on them, why would he give you a bigger team and more money?
Yep.
Or a bigger company or more purpose? I couldn't take care of people and coach people until I actually started to master myself. I didn't do that by myself. I did that with a coach. I did that with Andy. I did that with God. I did that in the church. Once I did that and I got saved and I started to really understood, I didn't understand. I was in a church growing up that was really old school. I found a pastor with tattoos. He resonated with me. I'm like, damn, I've never seen a pastor with tattoos before. And I went to a church. It was a lot different than I had been into. I felt welcome. It wasn't weird. It was like, to me, it was like normal. It was like a bunch of people that I like to be around. Again, it was the environment. I was in an environment that helped me shift my mindset. And once all of these things started to shift, now things make sense. Now, this doesn't mean I don't want anybody on the other end of this to think a guy like me who's talking the way I talk has it all figured out, because I still go through every day. It's still a battle every day to go back to my old life, to my old comfort zone, and I got to fight that thing every single day.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to stop fighting it. In fact, the bigger you get, the more problems you're going to have, the more devils are coming for you, the more valuable you're going to get to the devil. You start going out and speaking the truth. You start going out and trying to help other people. You're going to have things come to attack you. Mm-hmm. And so you got to develop this mindset like immediately.
Yeah.
And you got to start to become really, let's just talk about being hard, not soft.
Yeah.
Some of you guys are soft. Yeah. You're soft by the way you look. You're soft by the way you sound. You're soft in the eye contact. You're soft in having the hard conversations with your wife, the team around you. You get pushed over like that. You're going to have to become harder.
Yes.
You're going to have to become more coachable. You're going to have to become used to the truth.
Yeah.
Once you become that, you'll be more adaptable to like criticism. You'll be more adaptable to even hate. Yeah. Sometimes I even look at the hate. I'm like, oh, that's actually a true comment. Like, that sucks. I do need to work on that. I'm like, but like, I don't get down about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, dude, here's a hack. If you ever get hate on the internet, go to Netflix and watch David Beckham's documentary. Go to Netflix.
I heard it's good. Yeah.
Watch David Beckham's documentary. I remember when we started our TikTok, Jonan. Bro, TikTok is a vicious place, bro. Hate like you wouldn't believe every day, right? We're like, dude, chill, bro. And one of my buddies told me, he's go to Netflix and watch David Beckham's documentary. See how he handles hate. This dude is 19 years old. He's kicking the game-winning field goals in the World Cup and like these championships.
Yeah.
His wife, one of the most popular singers in the world, she's a Spice Girl at the time. She's in the stadium. They're at a rival person's stadium, right? The rival team stadium. And they're chanting with 70,000 people all in sync, very derogatory terms about different things that they do in the bed. Like, it was pretty tough. If I heard that about my wife, I would want to kill them all.
Sure.
And David's sitting there having to kick the game-winning field goal. And you're over here concerned about some little in his mommy's basement talking to you on TikTok. Yeah. And you're going to prevent that from going and getting your dreams. When I saw that, and then I saw how he would go on the road and there'd be people attempting to kidnap his children and take pictures of him and post stuff on the internet that wasn't even true and spin out language that he would say and all this stuff. And he's unpacking it. And he's, dude, I'm 19, 20 years old. I'm like, okay, I don't give a shit, bro. This is easy. Yeah. Those people are in the stands talking and I'm in the game shooting the game-winning shot and they're talking. You ever been to a Laker game or a Miami Heat game or something? Yeah. And they're talking to the players. It's some 5'2" white guy who's LeBron. I would dunk that. I would swat that out of the park. You shoot free throws like a pussy. It's bro. Dude, you didn't make the junior varsity basketball team.
Yeah.
You're in the stands. Shut up and watch the game and let the big boys play the game.
Let's go.
Okay?
Yeah.
You're an amateur. We're pros.
Yeah.
Chill.
And it's like, bro, you look at the guy's hate. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Why do I care about his opinion?
Yeah.
And that set me, honestly, some of that hate used to affect me a little bit.
It did. It will. Early on, it will. It will.
Because we care about people's opinions. And honestly, a big motivation for me about this stuff is Trump.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, I don't know if anybody's more hated than this guy. And he feeds off it. And to build a good brand, even Jesus.
Yes.
They wanted to kill Jesus.
Yes.
They hated him for healing blind.
Billions of people he's changed their life over the thousands of years. And they still will kill you in certain countries they will persecute and kill you in certain countries for practicing Christianity.
You can't read what he's
and you can't get on TikTok and post something about your purpose.
Bro. These people need help, man.
Yes, we all do. And that's why we all need to just surround ourselves with good people on the internet, in person.
Yes.
And the internet's so cool nowadays because you can get close to a mentor online and you can immerse yourself in their culture, whoever they are. Just make sure they have a good life. Make sure they're good people. Make sure they're good people online, but also get to know them behind the scenes.
For sure. All right. Lightning round on a couple things.
Okay.
What's your purpose?
My purpose is to impact, bro. There's nothing better than somebody walking up and saying the magic words. Hey, you changed my life.
Yeah.
Simple.
How do you define power?
Power?
Personal power. See somebody walking in power.
I think power to me is we nailed it. Let's just talk about Andy Elliott for a second.
Yeah.
When you meet him, you can tell he's in control of the monster. You can tell he has a dark side, a dark edge that he's been able to use, like Tim Grover says.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's very competitive. I like people that are competitive. Power to me is not somebody who sits on the sideline and talks about a big life, but they actually go and get it.
Yeah.
I just like people that have a big heart. Power to me isn't just like being an aggressive person.
Yeah.
It's having massive compassion and not being a person who will just run people over or kill people because you're super powerful, but knowing you have to contain that.
Yeah.
And knowing you have to be able to be there for people. And then power for me is just working out and taking good care of myself. So I'm the standard. If I could just nail those things and be close to God, like I feel powerful. And if I don't feel close to God, I'm not powerful in any of those things.
Same. All right. 2 more. How do you maintain that culture?
Yeah. It's an everyday battle, bro. Yeah. It's an everyday journey. It's looking people in their eye every day in the team, not getting disconnected. I think a lot of the times as a high level leader in companies, we can get disconnected from a couple people or we can get attached to our favorites and we can forget about the people that are really struggling.
Yeah.
And so one of my big things, really is just trying to make sure that I'm like constantly stirring the pot, finding my guys that are maybe newer or younger, or maybe not, or maybe they're missing a couple of missing structures and finding out how to get them to change, whether that's pairing them with the top producer in the company, whether that's getting the goal is to build other leaders in the company so then they can help with that, which is what we've done a really good job on. But culture for me is simple. It's just doing really cool with our team, suffering outside of the office, working out together, kicking ass, doing Spartan races like that.
Live for it, bro.
Yeah. Having fun.
Suffer. All right. A couple more real quick. What are the things you're involved with? You got a brand. Building
our YouTube channel. My brother and I really started building. Our whole big thing over the last couple of years was just building our team in the Elliott Group to be a household name. We've done a really good job at that.
Yeah.
So now we're just adding on to that, and we're just building our sub brand underneath the Elliott Group, which is building the Macklin Twins YouTube page, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Best kept secret, right?
Yeah.
Now. You guys are.
We're gonna blow this up. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Any CTAs? Where can we find more about you?
The other thing too is the last thing on that is the biggest things that I'm proud of is we're partnering with some really good charities. So as you follow us on YouTube, I'll have some different things coming out with some big charities that are going to help children. Some different things that we have going on that are just really impactful with our community in Fountain Hills, with our community in Arizona. And my biggest goal is to be able to help kids that don't have mentors or kids that are struggling, kids that are terminally ill. So we're going to do some stuff with the Mayo Clinic, just big initiatives coming out to ultimately to help them. And I think also when you're also helping other people, you might feel helpless. Just go get helpful, go help other people.
Yeah.
I think as you make more money, you can start to lose some gratitude here and there.
Yeah.
So if you can go put yourself around some people that are really struggling and they need the help, it might snap you out of your little feelings.
Yeah.
That you're like having a bad life. You're like, okay, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
So I like to help other people. That helps me too. But I also just like to I just love to change people. So we're really going to step up like this last half of the year. We're really going to do some really killer initiatives. Yeah. So I'll be making some calls to action on our social medias for help on that.
Yeah.
And then really just follow us on Instagram, YouTube. Once you follow me, you'll be able to see a lot of the guys that I tag that are in my team that are really killers. Follow all of them. You can't go wrong with any of their content. There's freaking couple dozen of them. So
yeah, there's no shortage, bro.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Hey, man, I just want to say thank you.
Yeah.
I know you got a lot going on, and it's been a privilege to get to know you. I'm excited what we're going to do together.
Yeah.
And I love you, man.
Yeah, we're sweating balls, bro.
I know.
Good. It's good. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.